Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video we are taking a look at some battles submitted by a supporter of the channel and member of my Discord, JASH20PROTECTOR, and these battles are showing his run up to hitting Battle Legend in the Holiday Cup. And while the Holiday Cup has since come and went, I did want to take a moment to analyze these battles, analyze the team he was running, and see if we can learn from someone who has already hit Battle Legend this season. And so the team that he was running, and keep in mind this was in the Holiday Cup, so it was a limited meta. He was running a Vigoroth lead, and in the back he had a Shadow Lapras and a Diggersby. And this team is structured very similarly to a lot of common teams. It's an ABB style team where both of the back two Pokemon do share a shared weakness. So both of those Pokemon take super effective damage from fighting types. And in the Holiday Cup, besides Breloom, which didn't see much play, the main counter users that you had to worry about were actually foe fighters who took super effective damage from fighting themselves. So he set up this team where Vigoroth up front is a really hard punish to foe fighters like another Vigoroth, Obstagoon, stuff like that. And then the goal is to safe swap usually the Shadow Lapras in order to draw out that foe fighter, so then Diggersby is able to sweep in back. And as you can see, he was able to hit Battle Legend, so it did work out quite well for him. So we are going to hop into these battles and see how he did. Leading into game number 1, picking up an okay lead versus a Mandibuzz. And Mandibuzz, he is going to safe swap into the Shadow Lapras, and Mandibuzz, he has pretty good answers for it with the Lapras and the Vigoroth. Unfortunately, Diggersby can't do anything against it, and he draws out an Alolan Ninetales. I do like the idea of going for double Surfs here, because this way he should be able to pressure a shield. And the opponent is going to commit the shield, and they're going to be able to farm down. And keep in mind, this was before the Season 6 Part 2 new moves, so this Ninetales does not have access to Weather Ball. He is going to commit the shield here because at this point he realizes that he needs a very healthy Vigoroth to try and take out the Mandibuzz. And they actually come in with the Mandibuzz, so this is good because even though he lost switch advantage, he still has the alignment that he's looking for. Going straight for the Body Slam, and this is going to be applying some heavy neutral damage to Mandibuzz, and even the tanky Mandibuzz still really feels those Body Slams. He's going to let this charge move go. It's the foul play. He can survive it, and they aggressively swap in a Wigglytuff. So they're running a double charm team, and this is going to be somewhat difficult, but the good news is Diggersby can get to Earthquakes very quickly with its Mud Shot. They are going to have to commit a shield, which is less than ideal, because Diggersby doesn't have a ton of play against Mandibuzz. On the bright side, the Mandibuzz is low. Unfortunately, that still doesn't quite take it out, and he is going to have to go for the Fire Punch. Now, Mandibuzz comes out, and he's able to force the Mandibuzz to throw, which is good, since he would have gotten to the Fire Punch, and now he has stored energy on Vigoroth, hoping this is enough to KO, and able to counter it down and win with 1 HP. Oh my goodness. So as you can see there, that team didn't really have a hard punish to, a hard punish in terms of a counter user, so he was able to take the game. And picking up more of a neutral lead versus a Charm Wigglytuff. And Charm is exceedingly oppressive, so long as the Wigglytuff decides to commit shields, they can rather easily farm this all the way down. Going straight for the Body Slam, and this will probably be getting that second shield. So the opponent is down 2 shields, but does have switch advantage. And he's going to come in with the Diggersby. And this could be good because Diggersby does well against a lot, but if the opponent has a flyer in back, revealing the Diggersby now could be trouble. And they have a Mandibuzz. Oh no. Okay, this is not ideal. And they have an Alolan Ninetales. Going straight for the Skull Bash, and this will be doing a lot of damage, but also raising the Lapras's defense, which is big. He's going to shield this up, and he may try and Ice Shard down. This is going to be really close, and unfortunately it's a tie. And from here, unfortunately, this is now going to be a loss. His win condition definitely was attempting to farm down because that Mandibuzz did have energy, but unfortunately Diggersby does not have enough play. So in the zero shield scenario, Mandibuzz, since its charge moves get stab, is going to be able to take this. As you can see, Mandibuzz had a lot of loaded energy. So in that particular matchup there, energy on Diggersby is very valuable, but if they do have a flyer, then it's going to be very difficult because you're stuck throwing non-stab fire punches. So unfortunately in this one, wasn't quite able to take the game. And we're hopping into match number 3 against someone who's already hit Battle Legend, picking up an Altaria lead. And this is a tough lead because Diggersby really doesn't want to see this, but able to catch onto the Shadow Lapras. So now, if the Vigoroth ends up lined up against the Altaria, he's going to have an energy lead. The opponent has their own Lapras, and he's able to get to the Skull Bash, which is big. This is going to be doing a lot of damage and buffing his own Lapras' defense. As it lands, oh my goodness, that's so much damage. Now he has an interesting decision to make here. He is going to let this go because now he's going to be able to farm up with Vigoroth and have a ton of energy if Altaria does come back in. So now Vigoroth, even though it's down health, has basically 2 body slams and they come back in with Altaria, which is huge. Because normally this is a pretty good matchup for Altaria, but Vigoroth with an energy lead is so incredibly deadly. Body slam spam is real. Oh my goodness. Just body slams left and right. And actually able to take out the Altaria, and it's an Alolan Marowak in back, and Alolan Marowak can do absolutely nothing against Diggersby unless it has Fire Blast. So from here, Diggersby is in a really safe position. The opponent does the correct play, which is attempt to call the bait. They were unsuccessful, and he's able to take the win. Hopping to the next match against Max Turv, leading Vigoroth into Obstagoon. So the foe fighters up front, and now they swap in a Venusaur. And unfortunately, he doesn't have a great response for a Venusaur, since both of his back Pokemon also take super effective damage from grass. So that is unfortunate to say the least. And with no Ice Beam, he's just going to go for the Surf to do some chip damage and attempt to... Oh no, he can't farm down, and he lets it go. Okay, this is going to be tough because now he doesn't have the alignment that he wants, and they have a Shadow Vic. Although having a Shadow Vic in back, this was always going to be a very difficult game, just since his backline is double weak to grass. And unfortunately, Victory Bell can survive that Body Slam, and they're able to get to a charge move. He's going to shield up. Oh no, and it's an Acid Spray. Oh, that's terrible. Farming up a ton of energy, going for the Earthquake onto Obstagoon. Maybe they think it's a bait. They shield, and that's going to be a good game from here, unfortunately. So as you can see, the opponent was running a double grass strategy and was able to flip switch, so that way they ended up getting their foe fighter onto the Diggersby, picking up a really good lead here. You definitely do have to watch out for the Wild Charge. Oh, it's a Mirror Shot bait, and they bring out their own Vigoroth, so this is going to be tough. But if he can get his Diggersby lined up with the Magnezone, then he's going to be in a really good spot. So able to get the shield with Vigoroth, and he's going to want to commit the shield here. And he is going to be able to get to the Body Slam. Oh, and it's CMP. Oh, this is really unfortunate, because now he doesn't dictate alignment, his opponent does. So the opponent is going to be bringing out the Magnezone onto the Shadow Lapras. He is able to get a Surf off, which should get a shield. And let's see if he does try and catch, which he does. What do they have in back? They have a Flyer. So this is really unfortunate. With having a Flyer in back, Diggersby without Hyper Beam is helpless. So in this particular situation, unfortunately, it was just, again, a very difficult team composition. Played well, but sometimes there are team compositions that you just can't beat. So this set is looking like a 2-3 here, but a lot of it really came down to less his plays and more just team composition, which happens He's going to swap back into the Lapras to try and preserve the Diggersby for Magnezone. And they aggressively swap in the Magnezone, and they can probably just throw a Mirror Shot here. And then they're going to be able to get to another Mirror Shot. And that's going to be taking out Diggersby. So incredibly well played by the opponent. Even though the opponent had a hard lead loss, they were able to fight back and take the win. Hopping into the next match here, so this is the second set. This is the set where he hit Battle Legend. Picking up a pretty nice lead against Dugong, doing super effective damage. And going straight for the Body Slam prior to getting debuffed. And so let's see if he does try and catch onto the Lapras. Looks like he does not, but he is going to commit the shield on the Vigoroth. So here he is very invested in keeping alignment, over farming, and now there's the catch onto Shadow Lapras. Really, really well done. Icy Wind does absolutely nothing to Shadow Lapras and baits out a Charmer. So it looks like that they don't have a counter user because they typically would bring out the counter user onto Lapras. This works out quite well. And I do like the play of going for double surfs here because you get some chip damage and you'll be able to get the shield. Oh wow, they actually let it go. So the opponent actually seed switch, which is really interesting. And they come back in with the Dugong. Going for the Skull Bash. Unfortunately not quite able to get to the Skull Bash, so he is going to let that go. It's just the Icy Wind. Comes back in with the Vigoroth, going straight for the Body Slam. And Body Slam is going to be doing some nice chunk damage. One more counter takes it out. And it's a Mandibuzz in the back, so it makes quite a bit of sense as to why they didn't want to bring that out versus the Lapras, as they'd be taking super effective damage. And even though the Mandibuzz versus Diggersby matchup is not great, now that he's done a bunch of chip damage, it's quite a bit better. Able to catch a foul play onto the Diggersby, which is fantastic, because preserving health on that Vigoroth has now become key, because Vigoroth is going to be the win con in this match. Over farming by quite a bit and able to get to a Fire Punch, and since he's over farmed, he is bluffing a stronger move. And unfortunately the opponent really doesn't have to shield either one of these moves, which they do the correct play and they actually do end up conceding the match. So the opponent did play that well, and hopping into the next match against someone who has already hit Battle Legend, leading into a Tropius. Going straight for the Body Slam, and something I do like about his playstyle is he's very good at over farming right before his opponent does decide to throw. Spamming out these Body Slams, and his Diggersby doesn't really want to see this, so he is actually going to let this go and swap into the Lapras. Baits out a Graveler, and Graveler, this is not a solid win for Graveler, just strictly because both parties are doing super effective damage. Graveler can 2-shield farm it down if he so desires, but he is going to let this go because his Vigoroth is going to absolutely tear through this, as well as the Diggersby. So he has no bad matchups left versus this Graveler, and he's farming all the way down. I love this play. So long as there isn't a second flyer in back, he should be in a really good position. Able to tank the Stone Edge like it's nothing. Thickersby is real. And let's see what they have. It's an Aerodactyl. Oh no, they have a second flyer. Okay, this is going to be very tough. Landing the Fire Punch, that doesn't do anything. Now going for the Earthquake. This would be doing massive damage, and it connects. They bring out Tropius, brings in the Vigoroth, unable to counter down. And I'm not seeing a win con here, unfortunately. Going for the Fire Punch, gets the shield, and is farmed down. So unfortunately, that was a team where they had 2 flyers, and his team is going to struggle against double flyer teams for sure. Picking up a great lead in the next match versus Obstagoon. Say swap Wigglytuff, he's going to counter with Lapras. And as we've seen, he typically does like to build up and go for 2 Surfs, which is exactly how he's playing it here. Because even if they do decide to commit 1 shield, then you're in a good position. And ooh, unfortunately over farmed, and it's CMP. That's really, really unfortunate. So he does have to burn a shield. Able to take out the Wigglytuff though and maintain switch alignment. This is going to be big because now the Obstagoon will not be lined up with his Diggersby, which is a win. Vigoroth comes out and is dealing a ton of damage to Obstagoon. Even if this is a cross chop, Vigoroth can tank it. It's not too worried, and they swap in a Whimsicott, and Whimsicott is not going to have a good day versus Diggersby. So as you can see, the double charm teams were exceedingly common. And this team does a pretty solid job against the double charm, as both Pokemon in back are insanely beefy. Charge move coming through is going to commit the shield. It is the Moonblast, and he can overfarm quite a bit to double fire punches. I love that, because that way if the opponent decides to commit the shield, they get instantly punished for it. They decide to let it go, and they're leaving it all up to Obstagoon. Throwing the fire punch, ooh, that gets the shield. Aggressive swap into Vigoroth, I love that. Don't let them farm down the Diggersby, going straight for the body slam, and able to counter down and take the win. So as you can see, their switch alignment was exceedingly important. He even had to go down a shield to preserve it, but he was able to preserve that really good matchup. Shadow Victory Bell lead. This is tough. Victory Bell has a lot of play against this whole team. Unfortunately, loses CMP there, but he's going to be able to spam off these 2 body slams, and this should be applying some nice pressure onto that Victory Bell. Able to get to the second one, which is huge. And let's see, Victory Bell does double shield, so they're going down with the ship at this point. Coming in with Diggersby, going straight for the fire punch, not taking any more Razor Leaf damage than it has to, and that's going to be taking them out. And of course they have an Altaria, aggressive swap into Lapras, and they have a Wigglytuff. So this matchup, now that Wigglytuff has arrived, is going to be, well, tough. I love going for the Skull Bash here, really trying to preserve HP. Altaria comes out, able to get to the Surf. This is resisted, but Ice Shards are doing double super effective damage, so this is doing a lot. And unfortunately not quite able to take them out, but they do have a shield left. So if they can just get to this Fire Punch, then he should be able to take this game. Oh no! They get to another charge move. Is this going to be enough? Diggersby survives. What an absolute monster. Just eating that Sky Attack like it's nothing. Able to take out Altaria with resisted damage and take the game. That was a close one. I was sweating, I'll be honest. So hopping into the next match here, and it's looking like that he is going to want to win out in order to hit rank 10. Picking up a great lead. They bring out Marowak and Diggersby. Diggersby absolutely destroys the Marowak switch in. As I mentioned earlier, without Fire Blast, Marowak's doing nothing. And they correctly call it, which I like that play, because now they're going to be able to bring in their Lapras, and Lapras is going to be doing great against Diggersby, although these Earthquakes will hurt quite a bit. As you can see, the Shadow Lapras is forced to shield, and it's CMP, which is awesome, so he's going to let this go. Surf, unfortunately, doesn't quite kill. Would have been preferable if it killed, but now he has switch and shield advantage. Altaria comes out, and that's on Shadow Lapras, so this is a good game from here, as he has the shield advantage, so he can safely throw a shield here, and actually chooses not to farm down, because he doesn't want to burn that other shield, just going straight for the Surf to take out Altaria. Now he's in a really good spot. Building up, going for the Skull Bash. He's actually going to commit the shield in this matchup. Interesting. And so they are going for the mirroring Skull Bashes. Probably going to get that last shield, which it does. And aggressively swaps in Vigoroth. And now Vigoroth is going to be absolutely tearing into this Lapras with those super effective counters. And able to get to a Body Slam. Vigoroth is so incredibly spammy, and that Body Slam is going to be taking it out. So even with the defensive buff, Vigoroth absolutely shredding. And so he was able to win out 4-1. I mean, you already know from the title that this is going to be enough, but one heck of a run there. As you can see, some lessons that I think that we can learn from his road to Battle Legend, massive congratulations by the way, is building ABB style teams where you're attempting to bait out a common weakness is very, very strong at the current moment. Whether that's in Open Great League, in limited metas, etc. And on top of that, having very careful energy management. As you see, he constantly over farms throughout and makes sure that he is not wasting energy, and a combination of those two factors were essential in helping him get to Battle Legend. So again, massive congratulations, JASH20PROTECTOR, for being the first person in the Discord to hit Battle Legend, and I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, definitely feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.